YouTube, I have missed you! And so, I'm back because you can't keep me away for long. So, if it's morning where you are, I wish you a good morning. And if it's night where you are, well, good evening to you. As you can see, it is night behind me. And so, today I've got something pretty exciting. Um, Today I'm resuming poetry readings on the channel again, and with my trusty lavalier microphone, which means that you can actually hear me this time. And I've got Mr. Robert Frost. Now, I know. A lot of you are going to say that Robert Frost means stopping by woods on a snowy evening. So this guy's going to bore us with stopping by woods on a snowy evening, or he's going to bore us with the road not taken, and then he's going to go into a discussion about, whether the stranger is happy or not at the end of the road. But I'm not actually. I'm going to be. I've gone through the book preliminary, and I am going to be narrating or reciting or reading out four poems that have got nothing to do with the road not taken or stopping by woods on a snowy evening, because Robert Frost is not just the road not taken and stopping by woods on a snowy evening. And so, poem the first. This poem's my favorite actually. This poem is called Ghost House. I dwell in a lonely house, I know, that vanished many a summer ago, and left no trace but the cellar walls, and a cellar in which the daylight falls. O'er ruined fences the grapevine shield, the woods come back to the mowing field. The orchard tree has grown one copse of new wood and old where the woodpecker chops. The footpath down to the well is healed. I dwell with a strangely aching heart in that vanished abode there far apart, on that disused and forgotten road that has no dust path now for the toad. Night comes, the black bats tumble and dart, the whippoorwill is coming to shout, and hush and cluck and flutter about. I hear him begin far enough away, full many a time to say his say, before he arrives to say it out. It is under the small dim summer star. I know not who these mute folk are, who share the unlit place with me, those stones out under the low limbed tree. Doubtless they bear names that the mosses mar. They are tireless folk, but slow and sad, though too close keeping are lass and lad. With none among them that ever sings, and yet in view of how many things as sweet companions as might be had. So that was called Ghost House. And it sort of reminded me a lot of fantasy, it just made me want to be there, in fact, it made me quite emotional because of the way he describes the spirit, the loneliness of having passed beyond the veil and not having had the chance to rest. And so, having paused and slightly dissected with my um, unqualified mind, for I am but an electrical engineer, still, I move on to the next poem. And this poem is called An Old Man's Winter Night. All out of doors look darkly in at him, through the thin frost, almost inseparate stars, that gathers on the pane in empty rooms. What kept his eyes from giving back the gaze was the lamp tilted near them in his hand. What kept him from remembering the need that brought him to that creaking room was age. He stood with barrels round him at a loss, and having scared the cellar under him, in clomping there, he scared it once again, in clomping off, and scared the outer night, which has its sounds familiar, like the roar of trees and crack of branches, common things, but nothing so like beating on a box. A light he was to no one but himself, where now he sat concerned with he knew what. A quiet light, and then not even that. He consigned to the moon, such as she was, so late arising, to the broken moon, as better than the sun in any case. For such a charge is snow upon the roof, his icicles along the wall to keep, and slept. The log that shifted with a jolt once in the stove disturbed him, and he shifted, and eased his heavy breathing, but still slept. One aged man. One man can't keep a house, a farm, a countryside, or if he can, it is thus he does it of a winter's night. And now I'm taken away to, to the scene where Shadow is introduced to the three sisters and Chesnabog in American Gods. And somehow the imagery here is so beautiful, so hauntingly beautiful. And I don't even know what gives me the guts to comment on Robert Frost, but these poems, they're doing something to me. They make me want to pause, they make me want to think, they make me want to dive in again. And speaking of diving in, here we go. Poem number three. Poem number three is called Fireflies in the Garden, and it's a very small one. It's incredibly small, it's practically a haiku. Fireflies in the Garden. Here come real stars to fill the upper skies, and here on earth come emulating flies. That though they never equal stars in size, and they never really were stars at heart, achieve at times a very star-like start. Only, of course, they can't sustain the part. And this one got me, This one just had me. This one just had me sitting like this and just thinking that, and it had me thinking of Grave of the Fireflies, the Studio Ghibli movie that Miyazaki-san directed, and how there are so many theories and how there are so many things associated with that movie. And then it had me thinking of the beauty that was what happened when Kenshin left for Kyoto to stop Shishio in season 2 of Wandering Samurai Rurouni Kenshin. And there are so many images that I have with fireflies. My mother used to tell me that I was obsessed with fireflies, that I used to, I used to make my parents catch fireflies all the time, catch them, catch them, catch them. And when my parents would open their fist like this, when they would open it like this, the firefly would fly away and I would run away, run around, run around, run around. Yes. So it's doing so many things to me. It's taking me back to my youth. It's showing me a phase in my teenage when I was getting exposed to, you know, literature, proper literature. It's making me appreciate those all the more. And at the same time, the beauty of this poem, the beauty of this poet, is just coursing through me like ambrosia. And so I'm bringing him to you one last time with poem number four. And poem number four is called, there goes the bookmark, Once by the Pacific. The shattered water made a misty din. Great wave looked over others coming in, and thought of doing something to the shore that water never did to land before. The clouds were low and hairy in the skies, like locks blown forward in the gleam of eyes. You could not tell, and yet it looked as if the shore was lucky in being backed by cliff, the cliff in being backed by continent. It looked as if a night of dark intent was coming, and not only a night, an age. Someone had better be prepared for rage. There would be more than ocean water broken before God's last put out the light was spoken. Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, if you're watching this video, those were four poems by Robert Frost. Best known perhaps for stopping by woods on a snowy evening, which is part of the ICSE curriculum the last time I checked when I was in college. But hey, this is also what he does. This is also what he has done. And today I have your humble servant. I have simply spent 10 minutes reading out Robert Frost to you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope my lavalier captured it properly. I will see you on the weekend with a short story. Uh, so I thought that I would just do a quick poetry reading today. That's my 10 minutes. This is the Bells Master signing off, and I'll see you again real soon. Thank you for listening.